to the cloud. There we go. Boom.
Good idea.
Yep. Awesome.
Should also change my background. There we go.
Fantastic. All right.
Awesome. How's everyone?
Oh, I'm just telling these guys I helped my sister move, and she has cats and a dog. So all my allergies are just killing my gut. Like my throat is just trashed. So hopefully I won't speak too much tonight. So
well, you are the king of the show today, man.
Do what now? Yeah, what are we doing? We're gonna work on like showing everybody how to do the easy win stuff, or it's not the
AI reviews. So here, I guess we should start with this. There are a few posts and comments in the group. Okay, by the way, I was away, so all the pressure was on Pat, and he was trying to do as much as he can along with his travels and holiday and everything. So the group was not answered. So apologies for anyone who's been waiting, but here's a chance. You should have joined on this call to get an answer.
This is why we have office hours.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Come on now.
All right, let me open up our group and see what the questions were. How's Charles? How are you, man? Kevin, what's up? EJ, thanks for joining.
I'm good. I've been lawnmower shopping all day.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I need to go live in the group. And we're gonna go live.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. There we go. And
Okay, let me start with the previous question. So I guess Patty had a question there. Pawan and Patty both. Oh yeah, there we go. Pawan. I see his post. Folks need help setting up AI reviews response gate inside of GHL. So basically, as much as I understand from his comments and all that, he wants to, the moment AI generates the review, he wants to gate that. So he wants to approve, yes, post it, or no, don't post it. I think the best way, in my honest opinion, would be to interfere some other third-party tool, either Google Sheet or Highlevel, create an opportunity pipeline or some way, bring those things in and then approve or, don't approve. Something like that.
I think so if you wanted to do it in Highlevel, so if you were, so you want it like the review comes in and you want to gate that review. So you basically want someone to approve the response that OpenAI is giving. And so with that, what you would definitely need to do is, I'm trying to think how you could do it so that you could do it in Highlevel, but basically you'd want to have, I'm trying to think how we do it. You would want to probably, we would have a, you want to add, you have to store the response somewhere. So you will have to use a Google Sheet. So you have to insert
exactly.
the row. You have to insert the row and then get the row number for that response, and then send it to the account owner on Highlevel and say, hey, Charles, like so-and-so, a lot left to review. This is what we responded with. And then have a trigger link that says accept it or don't accept it.
Yeah.
And then have it go that way. And then, and if you don't accept it, have it just go to the review and on the G&B so that you can write your own. We're not going to, creating a full-on system that, to edit and then, then do all that work on it. The reason we have the AI reviews to automatically answer the reviews for you is because 75% of businesses don't bother to answer reviews. Wow. So if you send them, they get notified when they get a review already.
So the challenge with this would be, I understand we can make, and again, we are all about systems. So you want a complex system, we've got complex systems. We can add complex workflows in it. The challenge 100%. And the main use case of AI reviews was to avoid complexity and keep it simple.
Yeah.
Do the 80 or 90% of the things which others are not doing. The 10% is what makes it complex. That is the challenge. So we are trying to make this AI review system more complex. Not everyone needs it. 80% or 90%, and we've seen all the responses. I've never come up with an AI review response, which I would say, no, I don't want to approve this.
Correct.
We've tested so many. We've seen so many of our clients using it now.
I know everybody.
I've never seen any response. So I'm very confident that you would get a really good response. But still, if you want to do that, the best way, again, like Pat said, was I would rather just have a Google Sheet where all the responses are stored. And then in that Google Sheet, so have a workflow in Highlevel. And again, we're not going to build this because we want to keep the system simple. But if you would like to do it, Pawan, if you're listening, or anyone else, if you guys would like to use this, I guess you should have a Google Sheet as a step in between before they posted the response.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, just separate the workflow and the workflow after the response and post it to Google Sheet, and workflow ends. And then in a new workflow in Pabbly, you should have, hey, if anything happens in this particular Google Sheet, then trigger the posting. So Pabbly, something like that.
Yeah, Pabbly has an action like if you change a Google Sheet. So you could send,
you
could basically let them have edit access to the Google Sheet and say, here's the row, here's the new one. And if you put in, approved, you'd have an approval column, and you would say, if you typed in like Y, then Pabbly would go, oh, this one just changed and it's approved, so the approved column equals Y. So go ahead and post the response to that particular review.
Or I'm thinking of a different system. I mean, let's say we want to use Highlevel for this because maybe your client is using Highlevel already. You could have a system, a workflow built in where, hey, any new response that is generated, not only it goes to a Google Sheet, but that response also gets emailed, right? Emailed to this person with a trigger link for accept or don't accept, right? And
correct.
So here's the review you got. Here's the response our AI generated. If you'd like to post it, accept it. If you'd like to decline it. And then here's when you decline, and edit it into the Google Sheet with whatever response you want.
Right.
So there should be a Google Sheet link in every email, and you should have accept and don't accept trigger links.
And just remember that, like, seriously, that like 75% of businesses don't even bother to answer their reviews. So the system we set up in place was KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. And like, it's the easiest thing to sell. It's super fast to set up. You can set up the social posting and all that stuff. So when you, and like Alok said, like, we've tested this with a bunch of different reviews. I've gone and Googled a bunch of different businesses and grabbed random reviews and stuffed it in there. And never once have I gone like, oh, wow, no, AI just went off the rails and said something really stupid, So it's one of those things where you can, if you just trust the system, and if you have a business owner who's not even bothering to answer his reviews, and say, but what if it does this, and then what if it does this, and then what if somebody puts in a fake review or something, like, okay, first off, it'll answer it, and you can always go in and if you don't like it, you can go into your G&B and edit that review, edit your response. So
I'm about mindset. We are trying to stop the AI from auto posting and trying to interfere in that process, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
We want control over that. The only reason we are implementing the system is because they are not replying anyways. Yeah. What makes us think that they will go ahead and check every responses and they would approve it? That's an extra thing.
Yeah, you send them a text or an email and they're already busy. Like if it's a restaurant owner and he's already dealing with a lot of stuff and he's trying to do schedules and things like that, he's going to get in like, oh, hell, I'll do that later. And then guess what? It never gets done. And so you're just back to square one. And then your client's going to like, well, where are all these awesome AI review responses? Yeah. And you're like, well, they're all holding for you.
They're all sitting in the Google Sheet.
If you have a client like that, you could theoretically develop something would not be hard to really cook up a system like that. But really my suggestion would be to just let the system do its job.
And again, I'm not saying don't implement that system. I mean, if it's a need of your business model or your client, 100% do it. I'm not saying no, but remember this, they are not responding. That means you're adding again the same hesitance that, hey, our AI have created a response, go ahead and check. That is exactly the same thing as not responding.
Correct.
They are not responding anyways, so that means they will not even go and approve and decline and edit the reviews anyways. It's better you take up that authority and say, hey, trust us, do this. Like a doctor, right? If you go to the doctor's clinic and you say, I have a tummy ache, a doctor will ask you 10 different questions, and then doctor will say, hey, here's the pill which will help you.
Yeah.
You don't question, no, instead of this pill, can I do this? Can I do that? No, you have to just take that pill. So the doctor is the authority. We listen to him. That's how you have to become an authority in this case. I mean, majority of the time. In this case, you have to become the authority and let your client know, just trust the process, try this for 3 months, and then let's talk.
And one thing you could do is you could take some of their old reviews and generate the responses from the AI. You go, this is kind of what we get out of these, like good reviews, bad reviews. Here's what we get out of these things. You know, is this okay for you? Do we need to tweak this, or is this good? You happy with that?
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people are not like, that's one reason why businesses don't answer their reviews, is because you sit there and you're like, well, now I have to respond to it. And other than just saying thanks, you know, they have to sit there and write something, and they get the same writer's block like everyone else does. Not everybody's John Carlton and Gary Halpert and you know, and Russell Brunson. They just, you know, most people can't write anything. They look at the screen and they go, I'll look at something on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, you know,
hopefully that answers Pawan's question. He's not here. Obviously, it must be really early for him in India. So hopefully that answers his question. But Patty have commented on his post saying she's on the similar boat. Patty, you're here. What are you struggling with? Let's talk.
Freaks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So the other day, I don't know, it's going back about a week ago, Pat went through the demo Pabbly connections. And so Pat, for you, this is super simple. And for me, I'm just like, I just want to make sure I don't screw it up. So the one thing that I have inactive is the review engine, AI powered responses, and social. And so I see your name under the account here, and I'm just trying to figure out what is it that I have to change. I can share my screen if you want. That way you have some context.
Let me see, make sure everybody can share. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Give me a sec.
So yeah, we got, I think we got on and we got your demo done. And so that's the demo flow. And so now what you're looking at is you're looking at the live client flow. And
correct.
So when you do this, basically it's kind of like how you set up the demo when it says, you know, the under trigger event is new review and it says connected. What you want to do is you want to hit the connect button and you're going to connect your account.
Okay. Okay. So
when you connect your account, you'll be able to pull down, like you'll be able to refresh the account, like
all of this info.
Refresh button, you'll be able to pull yours down, and then you'll be able to change. Once you refresh that, you'll be able to pull up all of your GMBs that you're managing. And that's kind of how you go through every single step, is that you just look at like, okay, this is not my connection, because Pabbly brings in whatever it can to kind of show like this is what it looks like. It's because it's a template. And then you basically set up your connection to do everything. And then on these individual steps here, like these little Pabbly actions, continue. What you want to do is once you get like grab a new review from whatever GMB you're managing, you want to send a test, save and send a test request, and it'll give you the results and you save it. And then you go down, like get the first name, and that will, like, once you've gotten a new review, it will actually pull in that name of the person and split the name off, you know, first and last, and do all that stuff.
Okay.
So basically you'll have to connect your account and then do everything, set up once again, everything. Yeah. If that makes sense.
And I think if you wanted to do the connection here, like you can, I think it pops up a new window where you're going to connect your GMB. So
okay. I was in the process. So I don't have a GMB, so I was in the process of setting that up. That was the reason why we didn't do it when we were on the call, Pat. But I just wanted to make sure. So am I hearing that I set it up once, and then do I have to go through that whole exercise every time somebody buys?
Once you've got all your connections made, like it's kind of like Zapier and Make. Like once you have your connection made to your Google profile that manages all the GMBs, the next time you basically clone this for a new client, you would just go down and then all you would do is change out the location name, because it's already got you connected and you're good to go.
Okay, and then the other question I had is, I joined with your Pabbly link for the 249 or whatever unlimited, and then I got got a message from Pabbly saying, "Hey, you might not have enough credits or whatever." So I wanted to check in with you. What level do you all have? Because I mean, he's like, you could add the 19 hours a month, and so I don't know what I don't know, and I'm like, are you just trying to upsell me?
They might be
Exactly.
upselling. Let's click on the dashboard.
They're definitely
click on your
upselling.
dashboard.
You don't like the nice thing about these flows. The nice thing about these flows is that there's enough. Like really, the only actions that let me see here. Let me go through. Let's see, where is the responses? There we go. I'll share this one.
Pabbly is really nice because there are internal apps which are from Pabbly, and those don't count towards your actions.
Yeah, I know. I saw that in the training that he said that they're free. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Correct.
If you notice, like the trigger's free, and then free, and then we come down here, and if we're going 4 and 5 stars, then we have free. The OpenAI, obviously not.
So that's one task.
So you have like literally, so far we're hitting 1 task, 2 tasks,
2 tasks,
3 tasks,
3, 4.
Got it.
And then when we post to social, so that's 3 tasks there, and then total 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 total tasks. Whereas if you were using this in Zapier, almost every one of them would have been a paid task. So you're not, I wouldn't worry about it until you really start running out. Cause like if you don't have your clients on the GMBs yet and everything, then that really your demo is not going to be using hardly anything at all.
Okay.
So I see you have set 3,000 tasks, right? So
yes,
on an average, let's say 10 tasks per client, right? So you still have, I don't know how many.
Oh my God.
Like,
so
so
300 reviews, right? So you can reply to 300 reviews on your personal Pabbly account currently a month, and it resets every month. Now, if you are replying to 300 reviews, I'm guessing you should have at least 10 paid clients, right? Who are generating 30 reviews each on an average. So until you hit 10 paid clients, don't even worry about Pabbly. You're safe, right? Okay. When you have 10 paid clients, then you see how much usage you have, and then maybe decide to upgrade or something.
I'm gonna buy your coaching course.
Yeah.
On how you get your 10 paid clients.
Okay, and then shoot, there was something else I needed to ask, and I forgot what it was. I don't know, it escaped me. Oh, here's the thing. I've heard you all comment that there's a couple of ways to sell this, whether it's on a monthly recurring and the price is pretty elastic. And then the other way is I've heard you say like a one-time, and then kind of having it be like a tripwire, right? And selling your SaaS on the back end. So what have you all tested, or with clients that are using it, where it's been the most, I don't know, fruitful in terms of conversions or what have you? Is it the one-time tripwire or continuity for something super low cost?
I guess here's my 2 cents on that. It totally depends on your main offer. What is your main offer which you're trying to sell? Forget AI reviews. What are you trying to sell?
So part of this whole thing that I've been just really putting into context is that there's the school of thought to niche, and I'm like reputation management. And then impressively, I've had a couple conversations with Charles Higgins, who's completely turned my whole perspective on this upside down, because obviously the proof is in the pudding. He's making it happen. And so I was like, okay, where do I lean, right? So I'm looking for that convincer strategy to say, I'm kind of leaning to what Charles is doing, because to me, it just makes a lot of sense. I love the simplicity of his business model.
So when you say what Charles is doing is like he's attracting agencies and selling it through them, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I mean, I have actually, in the work that I do, I have a lot of coaches, right? That and I can see the application of how this can help them. Yeah. So the email list I have is all coaches. So I think initially out of the gate, I want to start with that. And then I'll go into some other opportunities, but I want to go for the low hanging fruit. So he has his as.
So here's my
real quick sidebar on that. If you've got coaches, we got some other stuff.
We should talk if we got coaches, because here's what we've done. My past, before we launched our own. I mean, we had our own SaaS for 3 years, but I've helped 2 other coaches, successful coaches, kill it with their own SaaS, literally. And they've got awards from Highlevel already. So we've worked with coaches. We know what works for coaches. If you have a list of coaches who you think would be interested, we should talk. That's one. But that's on the side note. But if you directly want to sell to, I mean, if you have access to coaches, you have a list, you have past clients who are coaches, don't even think anything else. Okay. Go 100% all in my honest opinion, to coaches. Because we've proven it. I've helped me and Pat have personally worked with one coach and helped him launch. And he had, I think, 100 plus paid clients within a month or so.
Okay. Literally. Yes. Because I mean, I know, for example, and I'm not saying anything, I don't think I'm saying anything that Charles hasn't said. So yeah. Charles, stop me if I'm going across the line here. But his is a 297 across the board. And I know that my clients, like, they are, everyone I know is on Kajabi. And I think I hate Kajabi. I'm not a Kajabi fan. So I'm like, I know that all of these triggers and emails and the 297 is a little bit of a reach for the coaches that I work with, because their big thing is like, how do I get from my $4,000 a month to 10,000 or something? So I think like a 197 level is very doable for them, because it's giving number. It really is. I just think 297 is a bit high in my opinion, just because I've tested other things with them. So
and the coach we've helped, he's selling it for 197 as well.
Okay.
So I get your point. It totally depends, to be honest. Look, it's 297 is not bad. In fact, 497 is not bad.
No,
right?
I don't think so. I mean, I would pay it all day long.
The only thing is, you know your market well. So you have to make a decision based on that. Now you can launch with 197, right? 100 clients for 197. And then you have 100 clients who are actively using it and who are very happy. You got 20 testimonial videos from them. Take those and then raise your price. So there's nothing wrong in selling it for 197, launching it with 197. There's another coach, and she's in the community. I forgot her name. She's an Aussie. Sarah Cordiner. Go look her up. She's got hundreds. I don't know, maybe Charles, you know her. She's got hundreds of people. Yeah. She started selling it for $97 a month. The whole thing. I mean, let's look up. I mean, let me share her brand.
But when Alok and I were working with this coach, he was coming from this giant mess that he built in Fusionsoft, and then he had then he had MailChimp, and he like all these things cobbled together, right?
Yeah, they all do.
We took, and that's the thing. Like, you can tell, and because if you add that up, they're paying more than 197 a month.
100%.
It's a huge giant mess, and they're having to use Zapier and all these other things to tie it all together, and it's just horrendous, right? So if you had what Alok and I did for this guy is we took his main funnel and his sales funnel. It was just a horrendously classic looking ClickFunnels, little webinar opt-in funnel. And we took that, we templatized it. We took all of his emails, we templatized all that. We added some basic automations. So just that little tiny snapshot was what he was selling to his students. That's it. Little bitty thing. I mean, there wasn't much to it. We've actually learned quite a lot more about Highlevel since then. And we built much better snapshots. And then as far as like webinars and webinar opt-ins and stuff, I've actually built a video gating funnel that actually does real-time video tracking. I've got a social proof app like FOMO that you can plug into the pages and things like that. So stuff like that, you can bundle that up and say, here, coaches, look what I have here. I've got all these funnels that are available and that sort of thing, like multiple kinds of, like maybe several different styles of funnels, like 3 or 4 styles that somebody could use, to match their particular market that they're in or their niche that they're in. But really, if you keep the system small, because coaches are not going to be using as much of a snapshot as, say, a local business would, like all, like Charles has talked about, all the automations that they have for all the messaging and everything else. Coaches are going to have a lot simpler stuff. Like, people are going to want to book a call, they're going to want a little more information, that sort of thing. Not as
coach much. Just wants a proven system.
Well, so part of my whole thing, I mean, I've been coaching now for 10 years, is that almost all of them have a huge obstacle when it comes to their funnels and this and that, right? And so they have no idea. They're really bad at copywriting, and the follow-up is atrocious. Yep. So they may be like, oh, so they're like, I did my webinar, nobody showed up. I'm like, there's no email automations in terms of follow-up. If they showed up, if they didn't show up, if somebody booked a clarity call, what to do. And so all of those contacts, all those touch points, that's where I see the magic is, because I was in another group, and this guy was talking about, he's like, you got to follow up. It's like umpteen times, and none of them are doing that. So I know there's like so much opportunity in that space. So that's how I was like, okay, should I start there? I'm comfortable there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was like, okay, that's my low hanging fruit. That's where I want to live. For now,
I would 100% recommend. That industry is a crazily fast booming industry. Coaching.
Yeah.
And thanks to Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins, and all the influencers in that coaching space, they are bringing in hundreds of thousands of coaches, new coaches in the market every single year.
Yeah.
Guess what they're doing? They're running their challenges and all that. They're teaching people, hey, you could be a coach. You could sell whatever you have. Here, let me show you. Mastermind.
Oh, I know. I've seen the site.
You've seen that, right?
What you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So people are selling crazy stuff there. And guess how much they are charging? I mean, this is Tony Robbins' stuff, right? Oh, they changed the website. Who we are, Tony Robbins. Okay, well, there's no details here now anymore. But I guess their different plans start from $197 to $300 or something like that. There's literally no tools. There's just trainings and trainings and trainings in there, right? These guys are bringing in hundreds of thousands of coaches in the market every single year. And all those coaches, they know that they have a skill or a will to share and teach and, influence this planet. But guess what? They don't have systems.
Yeah.
They all will go and buy a ClickFunnels account or another tools account. They will all need a Calendly to book schedule. They will all need Kajabi to launch their courses and coaching platforms. They will all need one of the community platforms or Facebook group. Every single coach, all the coaches needs this. Doesn't matter what industry you are coaching in. They all need this. And guess who has all of this?
Your USP is basically going to be, selling these coaches on the fact that, you can focus on teaching what you know and teaching your passion. Yeah. Instead of, working with all of these, 15, 20 different tools, trying to make sure everything works, and then paying somebody off Fiverr or Upwork to try to put it all together. This is all done for you. Deploy, bang, it's up and running. And then you could do something like the white label support and go, hey, everything's in there that you need. And, you could have your own, and you basically would use your, custom built coaching funnel with your automations and everything to sell people their coaching funnels. And you can literally call out, like, if you're using ClickFunnels and Calendly and this, watch this.
Here's my tip. Go ahead and follow Sarah Cordinar Techmatics. That's the website, if you guys can see here. If you're in coaching niche, do exactly what she's doing. Okay. Exactly. Go ahead and look her up on Facebook. I'll share her link as well. I mean,
I've never even heard of her.
She won't kill me, hopefully.
No, she's so there. I'm of the Charles Higgins school of thought. There's enough for everybody.
Oh yeah. That's her. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and look her up. She does so much. She had a huge audience, obviously. She's good with content and everything, but she's killing it in the coaching space. Okay. She's the best to follow, in my honest opinion, for you to sell your SaaS to the coaches. Okay. Yeah, because I have like a whole portal of courses for coaches, like around their offer, their pricing, all these things that they don't know. And I was going to say, I'll give it to you if you join for a year or something like that. Which would be hugely that's crazy good, crazy value. So and here's the offer. Hey, it's $197 a month, and you get, rather than you signing up for ClickFunnels at $297 and 10 different softwares paying $1,000 plus, literally $1,000 plus. The coach we helped, he was paying $260 a month for Calendly.
What?
Because he had 15 team members using the paid Calendly account.
Oh, wow.
And guess what we did? We shifted him to Highlevel, free, $0.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm just talking about one tool. Okay, so this coaching niche it's not untapped. There are many people in that space, but it's such a massive industry anyways, that there's a lot in that. So since you already have a background in that, you're not from the typical agency, local business world, you're from the coaching, copywriting world, just go in there because they all also need help. Okay. 100%. And again, this could be a very contrasting idea since you 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, since you started following us and learning everything about local business and all that. And now I'm telling you, go to the coaching niche. There are two contradicting ideas here, but my thought process is, okay, well, if you are already in that niche, you know everything about it, rather than you learning this new thing, go and just tweak a few things and enter that niche. Okay. You know, that is what I would recommend.
Cool. Thank you, Larry.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah. And no, you got AI reviews. Guess what? Here's one thing. None of the coaches have GMB. They should. Why would they not have a GMB?
I never got one. I never thought about it. I've been in business for 10 years.
You can still use AI reviews, right? And you can still train them. Hey, here's a lead magnet. You want a lead magnet to attract new coaches? Create a GMB course for coaches. Okay. Hey, coach, I know you don't have a GMB account. Guess what? You're missing on this much traffic. Here's how to create one, and I have a free course for you. Okay. That's your lead magnet.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone have that lead magnet, to be very honest. I'm a lead magnet hoarder. I would opt into anything because I want to know what's happening in the industry. I pretty much have a pulse on everything new. I mean, I try to. So I've never seen anyone have that. And they should. So. There's no reason they should not have a GMB.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. Helped. Yeah, it did. I mean, there's so much, right? There's so many places that could go. I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to get this thing launched.
But this comes back to exactly what Charles also says every time, and I've also told every time. If you have an experience or knowledge or connections in an industry, start with that. Charles started with automotive. He had a background in automotive industry, right? Our SaaS, me and Pat, I was in the restaurant industry before. I used to be a chef before. So not my SaaS. I mean, I've moved out of restaurant, but when I started my marketing agency world, I started with restaurants. We were doing chatbots and automations in the restaurant. But then I matured out of restaurant. I was like, yeah, there are better industries to work with and less headache and all that. So that's why I'm out of it. But I started from there. I 100% recommend if you have connections, you have you have all the courses and assets you can give to them for free as a value add and bonuses. I mean, you have pretty much everything to enter that space right now.
Yeah. So here's the part that I'm a little confused, just for full transparency. I want to be cognizant of time, so I don't want to hoard the time. But in terms of a snapshot, I mean, I could, so I joined Extendly and they have a snapshot, and Charles happened to say, it's like, hey, that's a good one for solopreneur, but I don't know what I don't know. So what other, like, is there a snapshot that you guys do? I love the concept because I know they need it, is the follow-up, like the multiple touch points of follow-up. That's what they don't do, that I know is missing.
That's in that snapshot. So what they were talking about as far as a simple snapshot that covers the basics for coaches, calendars, follow-up, you know, a checkout form, cancellation refund form, and then incoming messages just to get that first autoresponder out so that there's some kind of response. That's what that quick start snapshot is. It already has a 52-week email nurture sequence built into it. You just have to customize the emails.
Okay.
Which you could go in and you could write the emails yourself. Since you're a copywriter, you could write them and use custom values. And that way, during your onboarding, no matter what that coach is on, you just have, okay, what is your specialty in coaching? And they fill out that custom value. And so that anytime you've used that, you know, as a coach that specializes in custom value one, it pulls it in. And what this does is simplify the onboarding process. Any place that you can write templates, for the love of God, use custom values.
Oh yeah.
Because that way, every time you roll it out, you just have them fill out during your onboarding process. They fill out, you know, forms and surveys like I showed you, and you just take that and copy and paste into the custom values.
Yeah.
And then it's done. Everything is backfilled. And now any landing pages that are in the snapshot, any email automations that email templates that you've customized further than what the snapshot originally came with, there you go. It's done. And now you're providing even more value without having to do all this work every time. Yes, the first time you do have to be methodical about it to make sure that you're properly inserting custom values where pretty much no matter what gets put into that custom value, it's still going to sound right. So you do have to really think it out and be methodical about it. But once you have it set up, oh my God, it's done. It's done. All you're doing is copying and pasting from, you go to their profile in your sub account, and then, or if it's all in one survey, you can actually push it to a PDF, and you can copy right from the PDF to the custom value. And you don't have to go into every section of their personal profile within the agency sub account where all the answers went when they filled it out. So if you do a single multi-page survey, the downside is if they abandon it, they got to start all over again. But it does give you the advantage of copying and pasting, because you can go into the responses from that survey, pull theirs up, and it's just plain text. And so that way you can pull it up and you can copy and paste. You don't have to sit there scrolling through their profile trying to grab every answer.
I have a better option than that. I mean, exactly that, but in a simpler way, and how you can try and automate that process. So we have, we've got, again, this is an add-on to Highlevel, right? Jason Rule, if you don't know that he's in the community, he's got a plugin which takes custom values and fills up it's a custom value plugin basically. So you can generate a form, they can just fill up the form and it automatically populates the custom values.
Wait, who is this?
Jason Rule. I've got things lined up to come in this group, so you would.
We're waiting a lot.
I'm sorry, my baby decided to come early.
I know, you're sweet baby. Faster.
So one thing I will tell you, what Alok is talking about is like what is my account setup. The same thing I use. So it's basically a custom menu link that you put in their sub account. Yeah. And it says, like mine says account setup, and it's a form. But when they fill it out, it populates the custom values in their sub account. Yeah, in their sub account. So you would be able to automate that. Now here, I want to show you. So what he's talking about, custom value the shit out of things. And again, sorry.
Well, that's super smart. Like
I do it with brand.
Here,
we do it with brand colors and everything.
That's amazing. That's
look
so
at this
smart.
Custom values. Are you aware of Fletcher method, Patty?
I've heard of it. I know exactly who you're talking about. Aaron Fletcher.
So this is Aaron Fletcher's stuff. We've custom valued the shit out of it.
Oh my God.
132 custom values.
See, I use it for colors, brand colors, logos, everything. So that way, like in all the funnels, they adapt to the brand color based on the color codes so they upload their logo. We pull the two primary colors, and then we take those, because most people won't know their hex code and we don't want to hold up the process. We're like, just upload your logo. So we just use a color picker, pick the two primary colors, and put that in the custom values. Now every funnel is branded to them.
Oh my God. So how do you
their colors?
So is this something that you built on your own, Charles, or are you guys buying this from somewhere?
There are ways you can do it. I mean, you can use third-party tools, Zapier, or whatever as well. But the easiest option I've seen so far, and there are two easier options. One is when Pat gets enough time and he will make sure he releases out to the world, because we already have that, but we haven't. It's in one of our snapshots. It's in one of our snapshots where we are doing it already, but it's not like easier to share it with others. It's just a whole snapshot. But the easiest way other than that is Jason Rule, what I'm saying. And I'll reach out to him, and if you want, I'll personally DM you the link so you can go ahead and, you know, look into that.
Yeah.
But what that does is it's basically you can create a form in his plugin, right?
Yeah.
And you can connect all the accounts and all that. Now it would generate a link, and you use that link and create a custom menu link in your Highlevel. Okay, in your Highlevel. So if you make me as a client, and if I sign up under you, I get my own sub account. When I log into my sub account, I see in the menu down there, onboarding forms, which is your custom menu link you've created. When I click on it, on the side, I have a form which I have to fill up. Now, what Charles is mentioning is for his use case, he collects all the hex codes and branding colors and all that stuff, which he needs to make his system live. In your case, what you mentioned is, hey, people, all the coaches struggle with, oh, hello. Wow. So in your use case, you said that coaches struggle with follow-ups and all that stuff, right? I mean, that is the thing which I know. And that's why I showed you the 130 custom values. It's because
in the luck, it's those 130 custom values, the snapshot that you guys are building that you're going to sell? Or no, or is that proprietary? I'm just asking.
It is proprietary, to be very honest, but we still haven't finished our own stuff because we pivoted from coaching industry into local biz, because we started building this when we were working with those coaches. We are into local businesses now. But if you're aware of Aaron Fletcher, his stuff, he's all about follow-ups, and he has systems where you can generate all the copy and, you know, nurture sequences and all that. So we went into his systems and we literally took out all the things and created all the things into a custom value. What's your, I don't know, what were the words? I even forgot. I can just share this.
Yeah, you have so many in there.
Yeah, everything. This are the only things. Okay, what is your, here,
well, basically before Aaron Fletcher actually got into Highlevel and released his snapshot.
Oh yeah, but it's nothing.
We're gonna
I've seen his snapshot.
Yeah, we're gonna take all this
I've seen his
and
snapshot. It's nothing.
Okay.
What we're building is deep.
Okay.
So I've seen a snapshot. But basically what we do is, okay, well, what are the 3 things you're going to help them from, right? So as a coach, you help with certain things, right? So in your nurture sequence, you want to talk about those things, right? So that's his thing, is like, hey, let's figure out if your promise is this, that you're going to get this one thing, what are the 3 big things you're going to do in that one thing to achieve that one thing? And each of those 3 would have 3 each. So basically you have 9 different things, smaller things, which you would help someone with to achieve that big result. That's his system. So now, how would you break down each of those 9 things and create copy about it and start talking about each of the problems? Then take one of those 9 things and create a lead magnet and opt-in, generate new opt-ins and all that. That's his system, basically.
Got it.
Now, what we came up with, like, hey, if these are your 9 things, how would you define them as your first action? Each of the 9 things have certain actions. So what would you do? What's the next thing? The first question of my customer is about this. The second question is about this. Like, we would take this custom values, put it into a form. So that means if I sign up under your account, on the left-hand menu, I see onboarding form. I click on it, I see a form where I'm filling up every single thing. I am targeting this niche. These are my ideal clients.
Right, and it triggers all the other setup.
And the moment you do that, it has all the campaigns built in with those custom values. You don't have to do anything. Everything is just filled up into those custom values. Your campaigns are already live in there, and out goes a snapshot, which is, hey, so the way we would sell it is like, hey, coach, I know you're struggling with this. These are your challenges. You struggle with campaign. I know you're really good at helping someone lose weight, but you don't know what to send them email as. You don't know what copy to write. You don't know this. You don't know that. You don't know which sales funnels. Guess what? I'm going to give you everything.
That's insane.
That is what we started building, and it's halfway there, but
for the love. All right. Well, I think that's super
but you get the idea.
Oh my God, 100%.
You to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So you get the idea and again, I'm literally opening up whatever we've done.
No, thank you for that. And if I don't know if there's like a short list or something, please let me know. because I really enjoyed being in this group. This group has been tremendously helpful. I can't believe you're not charging for it. I mean, the people are just incredible. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
All right. EJ and Pawan's here.
Yay,
Hi, Pawan. We
already covered Pawan. So
what's up?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
We answered your question before on this call. I don't know if you heard it on the live or not.
Yeah, I heard it.
You did. Okay, perfect. You have any comments?
Right. So basically, I agree with what you and Pat are saying. Most people don't even answer their reviews, right? I have one of the biggest coffee shops in India that doesn't even answer their reviews, right? So
exactly.
But when I had a conversation with them, their main concern is I may not answer, but if there's a random response from my company, I'm screwed, right? That's their concern. So they just want to know that there is a possibility of having a gate, as opposed to somebody going random.
If it's that one client, Pawan, if it's that one client, and you said a restaurant chain or coffee shop chain in India, trust me, they can pay, charge them more, and build this automation for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. So that was it. And I was looking at,
and you can just say like, hey, that's not in our system. Our system, if you want, it's just normally this much, but we will have to customize it, and here's a custom code for you.
Yeah, right. I think you were also worried about somebody adding some random, non-related review to to their GMB. And honestly, I've never seen that. So can they literally put their finger on it and go, that review right there should never be there, and that's a bad, that's an inappropriate review? Because
they just overthinking
is they're just trying to find ways to say no. It seems like they're just coming up with well, what if somebody posts something about that? And you're like, well, okay, so we can address that. But if it's one of those things where you could, there's an appeal process where you can say, Google, this is not a valid review, and have it pulled. So you can do that. But my guess is that it's a very much edge case scenario that somebody's going to say, I went to the coffee shop and I had the best steak dinner I've ever ordered. And, I doubt they're going to do that. So, but then, if they're worried about how the system answers reviews, I would go back and take maybe 5 of their reviews, a couple of good ones and a couple of bad ones, and then run them through, with the prompt and say, this is what our system does. And, this is how it consistently answers the reviews, which is far, far better than you not doing anything at all.
Yeah, fair point, right? And that's the conversation I've had with them. I think it's just that there is a possibility of a gate they're happy, right? And also a few things like, if somebody does put a random word or a random comment, we can engineer the prompt such that it ignores that. So those few customizations, I think they're generally happy.
Oh yeah. So, and like Alok said, if they're big enough, you can say, look, this is the base system. If you need any customization, I'm glad to charge you more for it. So
just say this is out of our system. I mean, we can totally customize it for you, just for and make them sound good, man. Obviously it's a chain, and I know in India there are big chains and all that stuff. So make them feel good about what you're trying to build for them, and charge them. And again, like Pat said, I didn't even think in that angle. It could just be a type of objection they're just coming up with, and they're just overthinking it. And in my honest opinion, you have to just take that higher authority and say, hey, I totally get and agree with whatever they're saying, and say, hey, I totally get what you're saying. Are you able to just pinpoint and show me one of those reviews which you have already got? Trust me, they don't even know. They don't even check it.
Yeah, they don't even check. I checked. I went through all the reviews.
Exactly. Response. You went through their reviews more than they have. Trust me. So it's just that one of those objections which they're coming up with. But again, handle it in a nicer way and say, hey, we're happy to customize it. But honestly, it just doesn't matter. What matters to Google and again, here comes a higher authority sentence, like what matters to Google is you respond to them on a timely manner. If you're not responding to any, it's affecting your brand even worse than one bad review or one misworded review that you're not even responding to them. So if you want to rank higher in Google and want more clients and not focus on that one person, let's just get started with what we have. Can anyone hear me? It's silent. Okay, yeah, cool. Hopefully Pawan's on silent. But yeah, hopefully that helps, man. If that's okay with you, or until you come back, I'm gonna go next to EJ. EJ, how are you, man? Got any comments, questions?
Oh, I'm great. I'm just here listening.
Awesome. Awesome. Anything we can help with, reach out.
Awesome. And Charles, looks like you have the CEO in the office this evening.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Olivia Marie Teal.
Olivia.
Olivia.
Olivia?
Nice to meet you.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Thank
Cool.
you.
What are you doing this evening? You helping your dad?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Hey, sorry,
Who's
guys,
on
I
your
got kicked out.
Sweaters.
Oh, no problem. Oh, you want to see something, Lydia? Oh, how about that?
Ooh.
That's my
Hi.
dog. Her name's Luna.
Aww.
Hi, puppy.
She's the one barking. Oh,
Awesome.
all right.
Yeah, Pawan, did that help?
Yes. That helped, and I'll address that. I have one more question.
Yeah.
This definitely is something I've run into the couple accounts I've helped set up, right? When I finish the setup in the live account, whatever I do, that's the last thing, right? Which is basically posting the review. That there's two issues there. One is, how do I test it without having to go post a review in the live account? Is there a way we can do that where we test the production flow, but it's not necessarily from the live account, right? So that's one. I tried, I couldn't figure out a way to do that. The other one is when I go through fixing each of or testing each of the parts in Pabbly, production flow. When I click the last button to post the review, which is post the Google review thingy, it goes ahead and posts it. Right now, in a sequence, when I did put a positive review, go through it and post it, and then go to the negative review, which basically there's no negative review because it's still that positive review, and then go through the thing and post it. It posts this negative review response to the positive review.
Yeah. So what you would do is, when you're running it through the test, you get all the way to the last step where it's going to post to the Google review. Just make sure that you've got those fields properly mapped, and then just hit the save button. You don't have to test that step, because if you are testing a review that's a good review, you're still sending some content to ChatGPT and saying, please answer this negative review, which is obviously positive, but it's going to do what it can, because it knows the context and it knows to write something apologetically. And so when it does that, you get all the way up to where you're going to post it to Google, and just hit save and don't do a test.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and that's
it's just
you can,
paranoid guy in me, right? So
yeah,
I'm not sure if it will work.
Yeah, you can test every step all the way up to where it does the post to Google, or if you're going to also do social posting, you can get all the way up to the point where you're going to post it to the page and not do it and just hit save.
Yeah, so the only the reason I tested, because I got paranoid if that step is being done or not, right? So until I hit test, I don't know if that part of the step is working. That was the only reason that I did that. And I've learned, right? So I went back to the positive one and did it again. So it sort of fixed itself.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I would just go ahead and just get all the, you just get up to the point of posting and then just hit save and you should be good to go.
All right. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right.
Awesome. Looks like that's it for the questions.
Yeah,
Anyone else have any questions?
Only 1 hour, Cindy? Well, we had that huge one last week, so that was a big one. So
yeah. Charles went crazy on the last one.
I know. I went to town.
Yeah, but you guys were talking about plugins for custom values. In fact, yesterday I was just planning something out on the same lines.
You're trying to build one?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think through one first.
Okay. But here's the thing, though. If I have to, I don't want to stop you from thinking through, but Highlevel is already thinking about it, and they will come natively as well. It is coming. We don't know when, but it will come.
What are they thinking about, Alok? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
What I just mentioned, like, the plugin from JSON Rule where you fill up a form and then it auto-populates your custom values.
Got it.
Hundreds of people have requested that. So Highlevel, it's in the roadmap. We don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. But if there's a need for someone to do that right now, there are third-party tools, like we use one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I also like what Charles is doing with the logo to pull the brand colors. That's actually
exactly cool. So yeah, I mean, the technology behind it is like, hey, there's a system which takes a custom field and converts it into a custom value. That's what is happening on the back end. So custom field from one sub account to a custom value into some other sub account. That is the technology behind it. Use cases different based on what Charles is doing. He's taking hex code. And again, if you want to see that, Pat, if you want to pull up UAWS, the website snapshot, we can show what we've got in that. That is the snapshot where we are doing it already, but we haven't created a system we can share with people. But it's, again, putting your hex codes and everything into one place. So one of our snapshot is launching a website easily. So in one sub account, you just fill up a form, and on the other sub account, on your client sub account, comes a website, which is up and live. So that's one of our snapshot as well. So yeah, that is one use case. The other use case which I was demoing to Patty was for coaching niche, because they suck with creating copy and nurture sequences and all that. So we took one of the proven systems from one of the other coaches, Aaron Fletcher, and we systemized that process. So just if you fill up those 132 custom values, you can have 100-something emails, copywritten emails done. You don't even have to think. You just have to answer those 132 custom values, and 100-something emails are done for you. So that's the system we're talking about.
That's pretty cool. I'm sure it's only going to get better and better as people figure out.
I mean, this is why Highlevel is amazing, and it's so versatile. And I've been talking about this. Anyone I explain Highlevel is like, hey, Highlevel or my own Highlevel. If I'm talking to my own clients, I say, hey, can you do this? I was like, if you can think of something, I'm pretty sure we can do it. The challenge is, can you think of it? Your imagination is the limitation here. Because if you can imagine something, I'm pretty sure we can do it. And if not directly in Highlevel, there are third-party tools we can integrate and do something with it. But I'm pretty sure we can do anything that we can think of. It's that versatile. And if we cannot, it would go into a roadmap, and we will be. So that's how crazy it is. So yeah, it's amazing, man. I'm very happy, super happy with Highlevel.
By the way, I have a question around email. Can I, if it's okay, I can shoot it. So I'm new to, this whole Highlevel thingy, and I'm just setting up my account, my agency account, right? Now I see email in like 4 different ways. Let's say, right? One is email that I use every day talking to my clients. So I just go to Gmail or G Suite and use that, right? The other one is transactional email, where something happens and then I'm responding to this like an autoresponder stuff, and I'm trying to use Highlevel for that. But when I tried a couple of them, it went straight into spam. right? And it is not accepting my own SMTP, so I can't add my G Suite or Bluehost or whatever email provider that I'm using that is giving me my email. And then the next level is, mailing to a bunch of email lists, which I know, I'm going to have to probably go through a process of making sure they get a custom domain or whatever, and then eventually cold emailing, right? So, and I have searched and searched and searched, and I've figured, one of these days I'll just do a video myself, right? So there is no video that walks through each of these steps and says, hey, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, right?
Okay, well, so what's the exact question here?
So if I start with the first one, so how do I, when I just even send a single transactional email, what do I need to do to make sure it's not going to spam?
So basically what you're doing, are you on LC or Mailgun?
People.
Oh, go ahead. It was Kevin's.
Nope, we got all the CEOs showing up tonight. So Pavan, what system are you using? Are you using Mailgun or LC?
Ideally, I just want to use my own SMTP, so I use neither, and I try to connect G Suite to it.
Oh, okay. So G Suite, excuse me, G Suite should have all of the DNS records in there properly. The first test I would do is go to mailgenius.com and then also go to mail-tester.com. So mail-tester.com.
Yeah.
Both of them will give you like a temporary email address. You create a contact in Highlevel and just email that contact with just, a test and testing 1, 2, 3, that sort of thing. And then it will, once you send the email, the systems will check. And then when they get the email, they'll tell you what issue you're facing with the sending system. So if there's a DNS record that's off, or it's a domain age, or there's some other problem, it will give you details on what specifically is causing your email to go to spam. And then at that point you can start working on fixing it. So I haven't really wired up to G Suite and Workspace. I prefer, like, for direct email and things like that, I'm using Zoho. I like that system honestly a lot better. But I mean, you're already on G Suite, so stick to that. But if you use Mail Genius and Mail Tester, it should give you some information on like exactly why things may be going to spam. So it could be just like you might need to add a DNS record or something like that.
It could be either of the DKIM, DMARC, SPF records, something missing,
yep.
And again, spam email is a very deep topic. There are many factors affecting it. It could be a copy related issue. It could be that your domain is an issue. There are many factors, but the first test, it would be to do a test email, send it to MailGenius email. And if you're not aware of MailGenius, you can just go here, mailgenius.com or mail-tester, exactly works the same way. Hopefully that opens up quickly. Okay, so when you open MailGenius, it would give you this, email address. You just copy that email and send a test email to that. And then after sending a test email, you click on see your score, and it would give you a result of what are the things that are affecting your deliverability. The other thing is, I don't know if you know, but there is a two-way Gmail sync as well. So if you use Gmail or G Suite, you can connect your account directly here. So if you're sending a one-on-one email, like a personal email to anyone, so you go to contact, and so I don't know what this is. Let's just open this up. And if you email here, it would take your G Suite. It would go through your Gmail. So one-on-ones, once you connect your Google account, one-on-ones will go through your Gmail. And if you're doing a bulk email or something, then it would take your SMTP and send it through your SMTP. I mean, the Mailgun or LC email, whatever you're using for bulk emails. So that way,
so what is considered a bulk email? If let's say if I
bulk
send
is
to 100 people
here, yeah, more than one. It's not one-on-one.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even two is bulk because that is more than one email going out together.
So does that automatically go through LC or Mailgun?
Correct. So the way they've got the system set up, and again, the only reason they've got the system this way set up is so that it doesn't affect your deliverability. So it's set up in a way so that you don't screw up the emails, right? There are limitations set by them based on the best practices and all that. So if I go here, select all these people, come in here, and add them to a workflow. Workflow means bulk email. So it would automatically take up either your email SMTP, which is Mailgun or any other third party you use, or LC email. If you come in here, select, if there are multiple people selected and you send an email here, this would also go out from your SMTP, not from your Gmail. But if I just unselect this and I go to Michelle and say, hey, maybe I want to send an email to Michelle, I would click on this. And if I send an email here, this goes through my alloc@leadconnectorhub.com, which is my G Suite, because of that Google Sync.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So when yes. So when I send that through LC, it's going through my, most likely I set up a custom domain, it'll go through the custom domain.
Yeah.
Right?
So any bulk, when I say bulk, if you go into your settings and where is email? Email services, there are two options. Either you would have lead connector, which is LC email, or you would have a third party. In this case, I'm using Mailgun. So I'm using Mailgun for all my bulk. So I haven't shifted to this lead connector for my personal account. Any new client accounts goes to lead connector directly, but this is how it works. So it's solely based on, if you want any third party service, you can come in here, select any other SMTP, either Gmail, Yahoo, SendGrid, or other if you have any third party you're using. So
when I set up G Suite here, that is what it is using to send those one-on-one emails, and then when it is bulk, it switches to LC.
Bulk goes through email services. So think of it this way: email services is bulk. Okay. Anything in this email services tab is for bulk emails. If you don't have your personal Gmail or G Suite or Outlook connected here, then it would also go through that bulk one-on-one. So, but if you have this connected,
where is this?
This is in your profile, in your profile. When you log in your profile, all the way down, you can connect it to either Google or Outlook for your emails.
Okay. Got it. That's the two-way email sync part of it, or integration.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is for one-on-one communication.
All right. Got it. Thank you.
Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. I didn't see this portion at all. I was trying to connect my G Suite in the SMTP part, like an added service.
So this is where I would recommend. Like you connect this right away.
So what is the G Suite or Yahoo that is shown in the SMTP part?
That's in the email services. Like, let's say you don't have any third party like Mailgun or something. You just want to use Yahoo.
Right.
And you use Yahoo as sending domain or Gmail.
So this that could be the G Suite account.
It
also,
could be,
right?
100%. But then your Gmails are not meant for bulk emails, or G Suite are not for bulk emails. When they find out, they'll shut down your accounts. Whereas Mailgun, SendGrid, all those providers are for bulk emails. So they would not mind you send 10,000 emails from their system as long as you're doing the best practices. They would not mind it. But if you send 10,000 emails to your whole list through Gmail, tomorrow you will be shut down.
Right. Got it.
You have a daily sending limit on Google SMTP of 500 emails. That's it. Doesn't matter.
G Suite is 2,000. 500 on Gmail. G Suite is 2,000. You can't go more than that.
Yeah, but typically you don't want to use, if you're using, like I use Google Workspace, I would never send transactional emails in bulk from that same domain, because I cannot ruin that domain. I have to keep that communication channel open. So what I do is I set my default at my agency level as do not reply with a custom domain. It's do not reply as the subdomain .smtp .cloud, and that's what I use as my default. In my agency sub account, I use reply.getpinnacle.ai as a custom domain within my agency. So anything that way, when people first sign up, I don't have to worry about them hooking up their custom domain right off the rip. It's running off of my default one, which is the do not reply. But that's also what it uses at the agency side to send out agency emails, and then it uses my sub account on my agency. And then for my one-to-one, I have two-way sync on, so it's sending through my Google Workspace email. If I'm just like doing back and forth emails with somebody, it's going through my Google Workspace email via the two-way sync. But anything through workflows, bulk actions, all goes through the reply.getpinnacle.ai. So I utilize three just for myself: my agency, my sub account, and then my Google Workspace.
Okay, one is where you are conversational. The other one is where you expect a reply, and the third one is you don't expect them to reply. It's just a receipt or something.
Notification. That's it. So if you connect to LC email, they come up with this new. I don't even know. They did not even announce it. I just noticed it a while ago. You can connect your dedicated domains. This is the agency level again. Agency level settings in email services. If you use LC email as your main provider, right? You can create dedicated domains for all your SMTPs, right? But you can also create a dedicated domain, subdomain I'm talking about, for notification emails. Like, hey, your login request, password resets, here's your new user signups and all that. So that means this dedicated domain will be given to all your sub accounts, and they would start using it unless they have a subdomain added. If they don't, then they would be sharing this. But this one is only for your agency notifications. So I would 100% recommend, if you have LC email, 100% recommend creating two. So you could have this as do not reply, or I don't know, mail.youragency.com. And this could be notifications.youragency.com.
Got it.
Makes sense?
Good. And this, I guess, is available at subdomain level as well if they want to. Right?
Yes. I mean, if you give them access to do that. Yes.
Right.
Hopefully that helps.
And then, yes, absolutely. Really. Thank you so much. I'll go do some more work on this.
Yeah.
And any of you guys using this for cold email? I've seen mixed thoughts on that.
Cold email, we don't use any of these. We use Zoho currently. We've promoted Gmails before. We have a really good snapshot on cold email, everything done on Highlevel. So you don't need any third-party tools, but the way we recommend is using Zoho.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well, I mean, there's two things, right? Does Zoho, I'm not sure if it does a warm-up sequence of the email that you are going to use for cold email and then push it out. Yeah, I'll look up.
I mean, warming up is a basics on, doesn't matter what you use, either Gmail, G Suite, Zoho, or any third party, you have to warm up. But we've seen good results with Zoho currently.
Mm-hmm. All right, great.
Yeah. And things change. I mean, currently Zoho is working, but previous to that, we used Gmails. It was working. Things would change. I mean, I'm telling Zoho is working today. It could change next month.
Yeah, fair enough. But when you say a cold email, I mean, just to get an idea, are we talking thousands of emails, or more than multiples of thousands?
Yeah. So I guess, are you an Instantly group?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. So yeah, well, it's the theory of having one domain, like throwaway domain. And when I say Zoho, it's like, your personal email addresses, not just, a domain related email. So it could be, pawan@yourdomain.com, but we create, instead of your .com, you can just buy another throwaway domains called .co or .net or .org. And then you create users, 3 to 5 users per domain. So let's say you buy, depends on how many emails you want to send. We don't recommend sending more than 50 emails a day per user. that's not recommended from us. So if it's 50 per user, and if you want to send 500 emails a day, then you need 10 users sending that. And we recommend maximum of 5 users per domain. So you need at least 2 throwaway domains and 5 users per domain.
Okay, wow. So, I mean, obviously that's all an investment as you build towards the
Correct.
40 million.
I mean, you cannot do it today, but yeah, you have to slowly and gradually build up to that. Yes.
Right. And these emails are, I guess, instantly, automatically sends these emails once it is set up, I guess. I mean,
we don't use instantly. We have, like I said, we have our own snapshot outreach.
Okay.
I can share details if you want. It's just everything done through Highlevel. We don't use any third-party tool. Our snapshot also does spin text, which rotates all the copy, which helps with deliverability, which is one of the biggest issues with cold email as well. So there are many things which it does. So yeah, we don't use instantly, to be honest. I mean, having said that, if you have instantly, if you know instantly, I would recommend that tool as well, because I've heard good things about it. Nothing wrong with it. It's just because if you can do it in Highlevel, why would I invest there?
Right, got it. Yeah, if you don't mind, just if there's a Zoom link or a Loom link or something video, I'd be happy to look at
yeah, I'll just drop the link here in the Zoom and you can click and check. Haji's on the board, on the call. How are you, Haji? Oh, Kevin, sorry, Haji, if you're not here yet. Kevin was before you. Kevin, do you have a question?
No.
I know I have to send you an email, a message. I'm sorry. I just remembered.
Yeah.
I forgot. I would do that.
Yeah, no problem when you get a chance.
I will. I was waiting for the date and I even forgot the date has passed. Yep. Sorry. Okay, I'll do that. Other than that, yeah, if you have a question, go ahead.
No, I'm just one of these days I'm gonna start scaling up. I gotta connect with Charles. I know Charles been doing some helping out here and there. So one of these days I'm gonna connect with him. I'm done my school job in like 2 weeks. So then I can really start ramping things up.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's get you started then. I'll send you details soon.
Thank you.
No worries. Let's go to Haji. Haji, how is it going, man?
Yeah, what's happening, sir?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. As a matter of fact, I've been talking to Charles. Charles has been very, very, very generous with his time. Last night
he's automated the shit out of his business, man. So he does have which is good.
Last night we literally chopped it up until I started falling asleep on him because
I think Charles is automated so much you weren't even talking to Charles, you were just talking to a chatbot.
Correct.
No, I was actually talking to Charles because just before we started the conversation, he went and grabbed some coffee. So who goes and grabs coffee at 1 o'clock in the morning? So I knew he was ready. I knew he was ready to rock and roll, and we just geeked out, and he was very, very, very helpful. So I just want to shout out to Charles for helping out and being very open. And as a matter of fact, it was a very funny story because yesterday I thought I missed the meeting. So I'm scrolling through the Facebook feed and I click on his Zoom link. And inadvertently in his Zoom link, I'll say, oh, no, this is not where I need to be. And then I hung up. And then he instant messaged me and said, look, if you need to hop back in, I'm ready. Let's do this. So that was actually really, really good. Another thing, though, do we have any update on the Snapchat with the workflows that we're acting all crazy? Not yet?
I'm removed from workflow.
Yeah, I started working on more of that today, getting that done. And it's like the fates and the gods are against me this month. It's like Facebook was on fire today with all kinds of ad problems. So that took like most of my day. So I'm getting little bits of it done as I can. I'm kind of just going through every single workflow to make sure everything is tagged properly and all that stuff. And so that then everybody can get the update without having too much of a change, but still make sure everything works properly. So we're going to be having that thing fixed. And I need to get with you to kind of find out, like, with the one client where I kind of suspect you're like answering too quickly, like, and not letting the flow get the information, and they're jumping in pretty quick. So, which is good to have somebody that responsive, but it's kind of also one of those things where, like, let the client come in and fill out the questions before you jump in and take over. So, you know what I mean? Right. So, but yeah, I'm going to be hopefully jumping back in early in the morning, as opposed to having to jump on chat support and waste half my day with Facebook chat support, which, by the way, is worthless. I would rather just run across the highway instead of talk to Facebook chat.
Right. Oh, wow.
It's all,
is that bad?
We spend a ton of money on ads, and the person on the chat support is trying to tell me, like, what I need to do with my ads and how to fix them and do all this other stuff. Like, dude, I just want you to tell me why it's not showing any spend. Don't tell me how to run ads.
Right. Right. Wow, that's interesting. Has anybody try out Alignable? Because I've been having a lot of conversations over there.
Yeah, I've got my profile all done. That's what last week's big office hours was all about. And we trimmed out kind of like everybody's catching up and the wins and all that stuff, and kind of smashed everything down a little bit and got a very concentrated video. And it's still almost 2 hours long, but it's on the YouTube channel. And we posted a link in the group as well. So get on the YouTube channel, and it was all Charles all the time. So I'm talking about his Alignable strategy, and I'm basically retooling my Alignable profile to align with what Charles is doing with partnerships. So
yeah, I already did that, and I'm just saying I'm already getting results. I'm talking to people and having conversation strategically with of all people who do web design.
Yep.
Strategically going for web design SEO people, and then use your SEO, your software and automation, as a leverage for them to amplify the amount of value that they deliver to the customers. But here's one of the things that I'm trying to figure out how to, because one of the web design agency I'm talking to from Alignable actually reached out to me, and we really honestly trying to figure out how to partner up. And she's asking me, won't you send me your packages so that I can add those to my packages and put it on my website, talking about her website, and sell it to her clients. And I'm not sure how to move forward with that. It almost seems as though you have to come in and train them how to sell their packages with yours. Kind of like creating a landing page, kind of like an affiliate page or something. That's what I was thinking about as I was talking to her. She said, well, won't you, send me your packages, and I'm going to add them to my packages and then sell it to my clients. I wasn't really clear on that. Maybe Charles can talk a little bit about how he strategically set up his partnerships. And then maybe I can propose that to her.
Take it away, Charles.
I mean, again, I just keep it really simple. I just have them direct their client to my website. They've watched the demo. They're using the platform already as an agency. And so they're familiar with what, and that's the whole key of giving them a free account, is I want them to be using it so that they can have that conversation of, hey, this is how we're using it as an agency. I know you can use it in your business.
Turn them into ambassadors for your product.
Yeah, that's it. And so from that point, I can either, generally I just tell them to give them the affiliate link. Honestly, that's the easiest way.
It's the easiest way, right? Just do the affiliate link.
Yeah, because I mean, there should be no shame in them saying that, hey, we have partnered with the experts in this field, and we are experts at what we do. We're not going to pretend to be experts at everything, because that is of no benefit to the end customer. So we've partnered with this expert that will get your systems and processes in place, so that you can fully maximize what you're doing in advertising and marketing and online presence through websites. And that way you can really leverage every single penny that you're spending in advertising and marketing. And instead of getting a 5 times return, you get a 10 times return.
They're charging north of $4,000 to do web design on Wix of all places.
So here's
Wix
my
of all places is crazy.
Haji. So one of the agencies I was talking to here in Sydney, he wanted to do that. He was like, well, let me know. I mean, first of all, he was trying to negotiate. He's an Indian. We can't live without it. He was trying to negotiate the price. And I'm like, well, here's the price. If you want to negotiate, yeah, I can negotiate, but I'll just cut down your affiliate commissions. That's how I can negotiate, because I'm an Indian as well. I can't quit. We came up with a price which was mutual. And then he's like, oh, well, this is the price. What I'm going to do is I'm thinking of, adding this to my offer and then giving it to them. I was like, dude, there's no way I'm going to say that, hey, this is your platform. This is my platform, my software. They are coming to me as a new client through you. And that's why I'm going to work with you, give you an affiliate commission, or you can say I'm partner with them. That is what is the partnership here. You are partnering with this software company because you personally use it, and you also recommend it because you know how good it is. Now, looks like, and again, I may be wrong, but looks like they want to not show that this is your platform, Haji. They want to brand and add more value to their agency, saying, hey, this is our stuff. And maybe Haji is just maintaining it. That's how they want it to look as. It's not how it works. If that's the case, say, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. I'm happy for you to find another partner.
Well, and I will tell you this. So here's what I say when that situation presents itself where they really want to put it under their brand, I just tell them, look, we currently cannot do that, but we are looking into it, and we do plan to offer that either within the 3rd to 4th quarter of this year.
Yeah.
Because it is on the roadmap. We just have no idea when this multi-brand is going to drop into the SaaS configurator. Now, once they drop the multi-brand, and this is the funny part, if you go in the Highlevel, this tells you why you shouldn't listen to all the noise in the Highlevel group. Everybody's talking about, oh, well, I want to be able to build a brand to cater to this niche. I want to build a brand to cater to this niche. No, you stupid MFers. This is black labeling. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you worried about building out another niche? You say, hey, agency, coach, whoever, I tell you what, I will give you your own white labeled platform, and I will do all the support. That's what they're coming out with. That's what Highlevel. It's on the roadmap. It's already been accepted. It is planned. They just haven't said if it's going to be 3rd quarter. It's not going to be this quarter. I almost guarantee you that. Because they're trying to at least get us more slots in the SaaS configurator first, get that out to 6, and then they'll drop in the gray labeling. But that's what it is for exactly that situation. So you can say, hey, not a problem. I'll give you your own funnel. It'll have all your branding, all the sign up emails and notifications will all come from your brand, because it's, again, a black label. It's a sub brand of the agency brand. It's coming. So I just tell them, hey, sorry, I can't do that right now. It is on the roadmap. We do plan to release that feature this year. Still would love you. And I just kind of keep pushing them to, hey, forget the noise. I get it. We can do that down the road, but let's not keep that from us all making money right now.
Right.
That's how I approach it.
Okay. I will continue to have that conversation with her, and see where it lands. She already has a free account. She's loving it. She's a web designer, so she customized a chat widget and put it on her website.
Yep. And I'm hoping in that chat widget there's a link to your.
Well, the chat widget conversations are filtered into her conversation tab.
No. So if you click on the chat widget, it's powered by your agency, your Highlevel.
That's really interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It should be there. Have you not set it up?
Right. I don't think I set that up though.
Yeah. So if you click on that, it would show that it's powered by your white label name, whatever is the domain.
So where's that set up? Where do you set that up?
I'm guessing it's still in chat widget option.
In whatever account that you have that snapshot built in, you need to make the update in the snapshot and refresh your snapshot, and it will transfer out. So it'll become part of your snapshot. So every time you load that snapshot into a new sub account, it'll automatically set the little banner at the bottom of the chat saying powered by, ABC company.
Right.
And they click it and it goes to your website.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you probably won't get a lot of traffic off of it, but I mean, something's better than nothing.
One more way.
Yeah.
Right.
It's another backlink on someone else's, because it does count as a backlink.
Yeah.
As a backlink on somebody else's.
Yeah. You see this?
Right.
They're powered by lead connector. Yep. And you can do the same thing in the reputation widget as well.
Okay, and you said that
in the GoHighLevel default reputation widget, which isn't very good, but it is what it is. You can set that to where it backlinks to your company as well.
Right, and you said that the change is made at the snapshot level, maybe, right? So what if you're not the one who created the snapshot? I'm still trying to understand where do you go and precisely make that change.
So whatever dummy sub account that you should have whenever you imported the snapshot that you're giving people, okay, you should have created a sub account as a dummy sub account and named it. Usually people will name it like the name of the snapshot so they can easily find it. You load that imported snapshot into that sub account, that dummy sub account that you just made. Right. And then you create a snapshot of that. So now you have a copy of your owned, not imported snapshot. And what it does is it ties that owned snapshot to that dummy sub account. So anytime that you make changes and updates in that dummy sub account that you're like, hey, I want all my people that are on this snapshot to have that.
Right.
You just make the changes in the sub account, go to your agency settings, click refresh on the snapshot that you own. It'll pull all the changes from there, and then you can actually push those changes out to your accounts that already have that snapshot. But you have to do it with an owned one. You cannot, I've seen it happen so many times. People will take an imported one and they will put an imported one into all these sub accounts. You can't do anything with it. You're stuck.
So this is exactly what I've been talking. Anytime you buy a snapshot, you load that into a sandbox account. If you remember that term, Haji.
Right.
Create a sandbox account, load that snapshot into that, and then do all the edits that are needed for you, for your agency, for your clients, according to whatever you prefer and what you want. So that is the sandbox account where you would do this, what Charles is mentioning. So in that sandbox account, you would go in, you would configure and all the stuff with this chat widget and your agency level stuff, and then snapshot this new sandbox account and use that for your clients, not the one which you imported from us.
That's the one that would go in your SaaS configurator, the one that you own.
Yeah.
Not the imported one.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I did give her the Easy Wing snapshot, but that's interesting. I do have a Sandbox account where
so
I
initially, I think, Haji, if you remember when you and me hopped on a call, we created a sandbox, we loaded it.
Exactly. Right. So
Yeah. So if you can edit that one, then you can snapshot from that one. So anytime you make changes, if you do updates or push updates to that snapshot or anything else, then you can push those updates out to your sub accounts without any kind of problem, instead of having to go in and load individual snapshots to accounts.
Right. Makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, I create sandbox accounts for just about any damn thing I import. I will not put it into my agency account. A lot of people do. They're like, oh, this is a funnel. Let me just import it in. No, I learned early not to do that because you never know what else is in there. Sometimes there's some funky stuff, and you think you're just getting a funnel, and then you end up with all these stupid custom values in your account, and you're like, "What is all this mess? I didn't know it was this. I thought I was just getting a layout."
Yeah, you never know what people are going to put into Snap. That and,
Right.
and custom values. Sometimes, like, you know, the my biggest pet peeve is somebody will put in a custom value like, "What did you have for lunch on Tuesday?" And the custom value ends up being, "What did you have for lunch on Tuesday?" instead of Tuesday lunch. And then you can name it whatever you want. So, you know, that sort of thing.
Naming
I do a
conventions.
lot of cleanup on imported snapshots. A lot.
Yeah.
There's very little quality control.
That's the nice part about a sandbox. You just quickly create a sandbox account, load the snapshot in there. Worst case scenario, you delete the freaking sub. Like if you get in and it's a huge mess, you just delete the sandbox account and say, okay, that was not worth the time, and move on. But at least that way it doesn't affect anything. Now, if you import it into a sandbox, you're like, okay, yeah, I could use bits and pieces of this. Then you can import what you can share what you want with whatever other sub account you want to share it with, but at least you have more control over it.
Right.
Okay, guys, I have to hop off. That's a great call.
And my throat is killing me. So
better take rest.
All right. Good stuff again, as always, everyone. Hope we answered some questions and everything on
hope
AI review stuff, and we got more clarity even on more alignable stuff. I gotta jump on. I'm already behind. All the leads are gone.
Haji and Charles are gonna take
Haji's out there getting it, man.
I'm
getting it,
man. Just
everybody, thank you so much for everyone's time and shares.
Got it. Chat to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.